We are back here as Aaron Morris, who just recently committed to play for Utah Tech, and Coach Fatenauer getting his warm-up tosses in. And let's meet the starting lineups. First for visiting Dixie Flyers, Braxton Yates will lead off and play in right. Boston Best, shortstop, hitting second. Max Orton hitting third. Second baseman, Blake Watson in left. In the cleanup spot, Ridge Erickson, the catcher, hitting fifth. Cooper Bartholomew first. Then Trace Franco in center. Logan Levitt at third. Kason Bell is the DH. And the pitcher, again, Jake Andreas. We'll see him in, of course, the bottom of the inning as Morris getting his warm-up tosses here in. And let's meet the House of Jump starters for the Mustangs. We'll set the defense for you. Jigger Baldwin in right field, leadoff guy. Ty Maynard, the catcher, batting second. Petey Soto Jr., the shortstop, batting third. Trey Evans, the cleanup hitter, in left. Brock Starley will bat fifth, the first baseman for this game. Tyler Weston, center field. McKay Wright, DHing, hitting seventh. Tate Maynard, third base, hitting eighth. And Still Barber, the second baseman, hitting ninth. And Aaron Morse, again, finishing his warm-up tosses, is the pitcher for tonight. Scheduled 7-inning game here. Crimson's got to win to play again tomorrow. Dixie would get a date with Snow Canyon on Friday if they win here tonight. Yates will get ready to step into the Buck Brand Beef batter box. And again, appreciate the starting lineups brought to you by House of Jump. They encourage you to bounce off the walls. Indoor trampoline arena, 415 South Dixie Drive. Perfect for your next birthday party. Check out the details, houseofjump.com. Let's play some baseball. Morris rocks, fires in a hot shot deep into the hole. Soto backhands it, gloves it, throws it, and he is not in time. And it was a beautiful stretch by Starley, but Yates beats out that throw.
Wow. Yeah, he was busting down that line to beat that throw. And Petey's got a cannon. Good call. And Braxton Starley with the stretch. He did everything he could. That was just good hustle by the Flyer.
Here is Boston Vest. Boston Vest. First AB. Ready to go. Just a junior. Slight wave of the bat. Almost tapping the right shoulder. Now Morris in for a called strike at the knees.
Yeah, Morris, like you had mentioned just a little bit earlier, Devin, he is now going to be a Utah Tech Trailblazer after his Crimson Mustang career is over. Excited for him.
Morris and a swing and a chopper to second. Barber has to wait for it. He'll touch the bag and then he'll throw, but not in time. So a 4 unassisted put out at second and 1 away. No, they say Vest is out too.
Wait. Really?
And here comes Coach Ibsen.
I think Ibsen certainly has an argument there.
Did they call interference?
It has to be something strange like that because he was certainly there in plenty of time. I'm hoping we can get a replay on that.
So Barber goes to
here. It is right here, Dev.
Now you're going to see it again, and it was their interference. Did he slide into Barber, who was trying to unassisted get a double play?
Oh, on the base runner.
Yeah, watch Yates. Does he? No,
you know what? I don't think so.
He popped. Maybe he popped up instead of staying slit. That's the only thing I can imagine the umpire saw right there.
Boy, that's a tough call early on.
So 2 outs. And Max Orton, Cache Valley Bank, foul ball. Appreciate Finley Subaru. Quick pregame shows. We had to turn around games really quickly here. 4th game of the day here from the 4A State Baseball Tournament. Do want to get you some scores from the softball tournament as we get going with this game. And Orton right back up the middle. Soto flashing the glove. Gets to it. Up and got him. Petey Soto Jr. showing off the leather here. Wow.
Oh, my goodness, Petey Soto Jr., you are incredible.
And that's the right call. He did by half a step. Get him. So a interference and then some unbelievable plays by Barber and Soto in the infield. And the Flyers can't strike here in the first. Mustangs will send up the top of the order when we come back. No score here early on from Utah Valley University on KSLSports.com and, of course, the Fan Sports Network.
In Utah, we love our sports. At KSL, we live and breathe sports. Wherever the action is.
Look who we found in Pasadena.
We're there. Wherever you are. Tune in. On air, online, and on the new KSL Sports app. We cover it all. From high school to pro. And the only radio team that's home to the Utah Jazz. KSL Sports Live and KSL Sports Zone. The one team that never stops tracking your teams.
One day. Visit whipplethataway.com.
Appliance Wholesalers Plus.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Back live, Boulevard Home, making your house more like home for over 48 years, bringing you the game. You're on the Fan Sports Network, UCCU, our stream sponsor on KSLSports.com. Also coming at you worldwide on our mobile app, on our website, thefansportsnetwork.com. Lots of ways you can access. Hello, everybody in St. George. If you're a Crimson or a Flyer fan or just a Region fan, welcome to the broadcast. And we saw already a couple big plays there in the top of the first, and here is Jake Andreas.
Jake Andreas has a 2-0 record, a 1.05 ERA. He's had about 6 appearances. I've seen him a couple of times this year, and seems to get better and better every time I see him.
I was talking on the catwalk briefly with Jager Baldwin's dad, and he said, yeah, I got a brace on that shoulder. It's bugging him. But here he is to lead off, and he slaps it through the 5-6 hole. He did that earlier today, and he does it again. His shoulder might be hurting, but
almost deja vu. I know that they went to IFA and got some horse numbing stuff. Yeah, and obviously some ibuprofen. I was sitting down there with Race as well, about a half of that Warrior game. So, yeah.
And Baldwin starts this game off with a sharply hit single off Jake Andreas. And here's Maynard. Ty Maynard. Andreas shows bunt, snap throw to first, back in time.
That's one thing I love about watching Ridge behind the plate.
He's good, one of the best.
Yeah.
That's why he's committed to BYU. They love his defense.
And not bad swinging the bat either.
No, not at all. He's been hitting in this state tournament. Baldwin setting the table, 405 hitter, he's aboard, and this one by Maynard, fly out to right. Didn't get enough of that one. Got underneath it a little bit. What a way here. Beautiful park. They added the turf a couple years ago. Last time I was here was grass field. The Wolverine logo in the turf.
It's gorgeous.
And just gentle breeze, maybe 2 to 5 miles an hour right now. Kind of blowing out a little bit. So if you hit one high and deep, might get a little wind aid right now. Here is Soto Jr. 1 on, 1 out. Snap throw to first. Ball went back in time.
Yeah, you love to see this wind when you're playing golf and you're driving down that par 5 and you see that wind behind your back a little bit. It'll add, 10, 12, 13 yards? Very similar here.
Chopper to third. Levitt goes to second. They get the first out, not in time on the relay. 2 away.
Yeah, Logan Levitt, one of the best defensive third basemen I have seen in the region for sure, maybe even in 4A. He's got a great glove down there, a great arm as well.
Here's Trey Evans. I agree, Mark. Andreas, after giving a hit up. And now Evans puts a charge in this one. This one going to go all the way in one hop over the wall for a ground rule double, which actually helped score a run here, and Crimson fired up. Trey Evans, all of a sudden coming alive today here in the state tournament.
Wow. Yeah, he squared that one up big time. Nobody could catch up with that one, Franco or Watson.
That's the deep part of the park here, and it lands on the track, the warning track, and then does bounce up off the wall. Rule double. It's just a stand-up double, and Soto scores all the way from first. Good wheels by Petey Soto Jr.
Absolutely.
And are they going to talk about something here? What are they talking about?
Well, you know, the fence is raised out there. It bounced over the yellow top of the fence, but whatever fencing they have on top of that kept it in. I don't know what the local rules are here, but that can be the only thing that they're talking about, is if they need to take that run off the board and put Petey Soto Jr. back at third base. I don't know what the local rules are here, Dev. You'll see it bounce,
the ball
and it'll hit the wall, but it's above here. It's above the yellow part.
Correct.
See that?
Correct.
So, again, now, I'm just not sure what the local rule is.
If you back to the earlier game, Crimson, Evans 10-runned him with the double that hit the yellow, bounce back in play.
They're giving him safe. So the run's going to stay.
Okay.
And that feels right.
Yeah, he would have scored.
I mean, kind of like that interference play in the top of the first. I told you off during our break. I was like, that just doesn't feel right.
Well, he popped up.
This feels. I know he did. It just doesn't feel right. This does feel right too.
Coach Ibsen wants to get an explanation,
and probably.
And he'll walk back to the dugout.
Yeah. Both of these coaches, I really do love how both of them really fight for their players.
Here's Breck Starley. And Andreas fastball just missing outside. Breck's older brother Brock here watching his little bro.
I hung out with Brock for a little bit on my off time here about an hour or so ago.
And that slider, Starley able to lay off of it. Yeah, Brock played quarterback for a couple years back in the Midwest.
Yeah. Had a good career at Hurricane High School.
Yeah, really did. And a swinging a hot shot to third. Levitt gloves it. Unbelievable snag by Levitt, and then whips it across the diamond.
Again, one of the best defenders down at the hot corner in the state of Utah. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that.
That was a rip shot. And boy, oh boy, Levitt makes a great play. So both teams flashing the gloves here. And through 1-0 on a Trey Evans RBI double. Crimson takes the early lead here on the Fan Sports Network, KSLSports.com, and the Wilkinson scoreboard.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
cheesesteak
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Inspired design. Ultra quiet operation. To you, it's a Bryant Evolution cooling system. To us, it's the ultimate machine.
All set.
For the dealer nearest you, visit Bryant.com.
Reach your financial goals. Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com today.
Welcome back, everybody. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave, Caden Formaster, Cannon Seacrest, the whole crew up here. Dusty Allen, Rory Brosnan back in the studios, and a first pitch swinging, and up the middle, Blake Watson has a leadoff single.
Well, I'll tell you what, watching Petey Soto at shortstop, though, he really believes he can get everything, and he gave that an all-out effort as well.
He is electrically quick.
He really is.
It's like a spark plug to this Crimson team. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Of course, the transmission shifting into gear in that first inning was Trey Evans. He's given the Mustangs the lead with that RBI double off the wall. And now Morris here in the top of the second goes to work on Ridge Erickson. Ridge, 294 hitter, but always a tough out.
Yeah, he is.
And always seems to barrel it up, right?
He is.
That one missing.
I told you the story how I'm responsible for bringing Pete Soto Jr. to St. George, right? No, I told you that story?
Yeah,
all right. Well, not just me, but Jim Price as well.
Yeah, I know the skeet story. And the wind just kicked up a big notch or two, and there's a high chopper. Soto waits for it, hoses it over to first, and it gets away from Maynard, and everybody is going to advance. Runners at second and third.
Boy, he had to put so much juice behind that throw.
Because he had to wait so long for that to come down.
His release point was just off a little bit. He just held on to it for just a split second too long.
How are you going to score that one?
Oh, you got to go throwing error.
One nothing Mustangs, but all of a sudden nobody out. Runners on second, third. And Mark, the wind just picked up to like 25 miles an hour.
Wow, look at that flag out there. My goodness.
I mean, it is. We could see some donut run home runs if this wind stays like this.
Yeah.
It's blowing straight out to center. And that pitch to Bartholomew. In for a called strike. I think
to our cameraman, can we get a shot of that flag right there? Oh yeah, thank you,
There's
Cannon.
the wind. There's the wind.
Just to give our viewers at home a shot of that. Thank you so much, Cannon.
Look at this backdrop though for baseball on a Wednesday night. And jammed him up, and Bartholomew, good job, just fight a foul down the first baseline. Foul ball's all state tournament long, brought to you by Cache Valley Bank. Mountains await as you see the Wasatch Mountains in the distance.
That. Oh my gosh.
Just on the other side of that is one of my favorite golf courses, Wasatch State Park.
Yeah, Wasatch is gorgeous.
36 holes, calling my name.
Oh.
Not with this wind though.
And I love the mountain course more so than the lake course.
I concur. Missing high. Morris now 1-2. Trying to get Cooper to chase. Morris has been unbelievable. 0.24 ERA. He is 5-0 in 10 appearances this year.
Yeah.
28 2/3 work. And a swing and a miss. There's an S&S mechanical strikeout for Mr. Morris. He's given up one run. It was earned. He's only walked 9, and he struck out 35.
Yeah, and that's why the Utah Tech Trailblazers, Coach Fate, really reached out to him, offered him a scholarship, accepted it, and that's why. I mean, look at those numbers. They just really stand out.
Also, already had committed Petey Soto and just offered recently Tank Kelly.
Yeah, I saw that. Congratulations to all those players, man. All these players here in Region 10 going and play next level.
Now, Morris and Soto are seniors. Tank's just a junior, so he's class of 2024. Oh, that hit. Did it hit the bat? No, it hit the hand. He got the hand. And so there's a free pass given on a hit-by pitch there for Trace Franco. He's going to take a slow jog down to first. He's looking at the left hand.
Coach Abbott coming out. He wants an explanation from the home plate umpire.
He's saying in hand part of the bat. Got him. It did. It got him on the hands.
Yeah, no question.
Scott Vest, the first base coach, is down there. Now he'll separate and go off the bag at first. He was kind of checking on Franco. That couldn't have felt good. There's no cushion there.
Oh, my goodness, no.
All bone. And those fingers on that bat. There's no give there. And now the bases are loaded with one away. And here is Levitt, who just made a web gym at third. Logan Levitt. His older brother AJ was a flyer. His older brother Jagan Levitt's now an assistant coach, but he prepped at Pineview and then played 4 tremendous years for Coach Fate at Utah Tech.
Yep.
OC and Stacy's youngest son, Logan, and he's just a junior, right, Mark?
Yes, he is. Yeah, he'll have another year as a flyer before he moves on to a college career.
They're kind of slowly catching their breath here. Big moment. Base is full. Levitt fouls it back.
Boy, he was on that one, too. He fouled that straight back. Aaron's got to be a little bit careful here with Logan Levitt. He can go to all parts of the field. He can pull the ball. He can take a pitch and go oppo with it. So, yeah, you got to be somewhat careful here. Aaron Morris trying to work out of a little bit of trouble here. Bases loaded, 1 out here in just the top of the second inning, and in a matchup I have been really waiting for today.
Absolutely. Morris, long look in. Big moment here. Crimson leads 1-0, but Dixie threatening here with just 1 out, and the sacks are full of flyers. Levitt fought it off out of play. Another Cache Valley Bank foul ball.
I see a couple of the crowd starting to put their jackets on now a little bit. That breeze kicking up. But still a great night here in Orem for some baseball.
You are protected a little bit with the press box and the grandstands from home plate, maybe even a little bit of the pitcher mound. But once you start getting out to the middle infield and out in the outfield, that wind has really started to, for the first time all tournament, it's in effect.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, if these hitters can just get a ball elevated, let the wind, let Mother Nature work for you. She's not working against you if you're a hitter. The first step of the outfielders has to be back. You can't take that forward step, which you shouldn't be doing anyways.
And the wind has switched a little bit more to the south now. Now it's switching back. It's whipping around. And Levitt again battling with Morris.
I love that mentality, though, as a hitter. That was going to be ball 1, no question about it, but it was just a little too close for an 0-2 count to let it go by. He doesn't want to leave it in the hands of the umpire, so he fouls it off.
And Morris, a shot right back past Morris, gets past Barbin as he blocked it, and we are tied. And the bases are still loaded. RBI hit, infield hit.
Barbin saves a run, though. He knocks that down, keeps the ball in the infield. We can watch it here on the SNS Mechanical Replay. Knocks it down.
Might have saved another run.
So that Watson wasn't able to turn third and go to home. So, yes, there was a run scored on that hit, but Barbin did save a run.
And here's Kaysen Bell, who looked great on the bump, throwing high-volume fastballs yesterday. And should Dixie win, he will be available against the Warriors later this weekend. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 from Morris. Flyers already 1 run on 4 hits. Mustangs 1 run on 2 hits. Haven't settled anything. Top of the second. Crimson is the home team. They are the 2 seed. Flyers the 3 seed. That's why the Mustangs are the home team for this game.
Yep.
And swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Morris really confused Bell on that pitch. That is not what Kaysen was looking for.
Morris has 1 K under his belt so far tonight. Keeping track of the SNS K meter. Appreciate our friends. There's number 2. Make sure you get your AC tune-ups before it gets really, really hot. Go to SNSairconditioning.com.
Yeah, that was a crucial strikeout Because with only one out, if Kason Bell just puts that ball into play, it's going to push a run across.
Especially with the wind blowing out.
Absolutely.
Got to be deep enough to score a run, you got to imagine.
That's a big K. I put that K in bold letters. That's a big one.
And the windup and the pitch to Yates. The Flyers have already batted around back to the top of the order. Yates is 1 for 1. Hits by Yates, Watson, Levitt already in this game.
Again, Yates would love to get a pitch that he can elevate, get up there in Mother Nature's wind tunnel up there. That flag is still stiff out there in center field. My goodness.
Morris outside, 1-1. Appreciate Intermountain Sports Performance. Summer training underway. Spots will fill up fast, so make sure you call 435-251-2299. And you can see the wind picking up. Intermountain Sports Performance. Locations Logan to St. George. Find the one nearest you. 5 Utah locations. I'm sure a lot of these kids trained at Intermountain Sports Performance.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
1-2 the count now on Yates, whose brother Kaler started at Utah, transferred to UVU. Hasn't played a ton this year for the Wolverines. 1-1 game here. And a shot right back up the middle. Past Morris, past Barbin. 1-1 will score. They'll send Franco plate to plate, not in time. And it is a 3-1 lead for the Flyers on a 2 RBI single right back up the middle by Yates. Throw was...
Wow, big.
And the Flyers have been swinging it hot here in the state tournament, and they start out hot against one of the pitchers with the lowest ERA in the state, and they've gotten already 4 or 5 hits, depending on how you score it.
Yeah.
Off of Aaron Morris. And here is Mr. Vest. Boss.
Going to be a little, Abbott wanted to talk to the home plate umpire. Now he's going back over to talk to Coach Ibsen.
What's this about? I'm not sure.
I really don't know.
Coach Ibsen explaining what he's seeing. Home plate umpire.
I mean, the catcher and the runner almost collided in the base path, but it really had no effect on the play.
Yeah, you can't block the play, but the throw was late and up the line.
Yeah, exactly. Right, here we go. Don't know what that was about, but we are reset and ready to go here.
Boss Vest here. Yes. Amo. Aaron Moore's ready. Take a look at the runner now. He comes to play. Runner's not going. That's Levitt at second. He takes a little lead off the back and goes back, and that's ball 1.
And we certainly know that the Vests, they definitely have the flair for the dramatics.
Oh, my gosh, yes. I was there calling the action when Cooper walked off Grand Slam freshman year.
I was listening to your call, Double D.
Yeah. Who could forget? And I was kind of wondering about that one as a freshman when Cooper joined us in the broadcast booth over at BYU on Monday after practice. And a slow roll to Soto and the play in time at second. But now before the Flyers grab a couple more runs here. 3-run inning. And they take the 3-1 lead on the Wilkinson House of Lighting scoreboard. And we'll be right back. Lots of good baseball ahead here in this showdown between the Mustangs and the Flyers on the Fan and KSL.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org. Visit netsonfire.org.
Well, weather's been perfect all week, but all of a sudden the wind has brought a little bit of a different element to this game. Blowing straight out here at Utah Valley University. 3-1 Flyers take the lead. And appreciate Luke Udy and Associates, American Family Insurance, one of our great sponsors, bringing you tonight's game. Get a quote today. See how much Luke can save you. Maybe you've had your agent or your insurance company raise your rates. See if Luke can save you some money. Get a quote today. And quickly 2-0. Jake Andreas missing. And Ty West, left-handed batter, tried to pull that one, and all he could do was fight it off foul. Two red-hot teams here. Been great all season long. 343 Flyers batting average as a team. 307 Flyers hit it as a team. And there's a dirty bomb there by Ty West. He's going to take a big turn, and he's heading for second. Throw will not be in time. Head first slide. It's a double to start things off here for the Mustangs by Tyler West.
Yeah, aggressive base running by the Mustangs.
He can fly.
Turned a single into a double. Love that kind of aggressiveness on the base pass.
And, you got to be thinking about going the other way. When you see that pitch is outside, but it might be over the plate.
Yeah.
You got to make that quick mental switch like Ty West did and just swat it into left field from the left-handed hitter. And here's McKay Wright. McKay stepping in, righty on righty matchup here. And that one outside, ball one.
Yeah, 3-1 here in the bottom of the second. Mustangs threatening, though, with a runner on second and no outs.
Yep, 2 RBI single by Yates. This gives the Flyers this cushion.
That's a called strike.
Going to be a lot of fun for baseball fans in southern Utah with 3 teams left, and it's all chalk, the 1, the 2, and the 3 seed.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I saw it playing out, certainly from the beginning. But man, hats off to some of those Region 11 teams and some of those Region 10 teams that had to go home a little early. Man, what a great season. So much fun to watch.
And that one goes into left field and drops. He pulls off of it. Throw cut off to Vest. And now all of a sudden, runners on the corners here for the Mustangs.
I'm looking at Watson out there in left field. He's kind of shielding his eyes with his glove out there. I don't think he got a great jump on that ball. He did have to pull up a little bit and took it on the bounce. So, yeah, he just played it safe early in the ball game. That's probably not a bad way to go. A lot of baseball to go. That pitch is elevated for ball 1. Again, Mustangs trying to answer that 3 spot that the Flyers put up in the top of the second to take a 3-1 lead. Andreas goes inside and hits Tate Maynard.
And that'll load the bases
with no outs.
Well, if you're thinking of pitcher's duel, kind of like I was, you might have been wrong.
Yeah,
a rainbow.
There has been a lot of traffic on the base paths, and we're only in the bottom of the second.
Great shot there from our crew.
Gorgeous.
The pot of gold is a win.
Yeah, that's
for one of these teams.
Certainly for the Flyers, because they'll move right into the championship game. That pitch a little elevated and out of the zone for ball one.
Andres. Slider, I believe.
Yeah, something nasty.
And then broke back over the heart of the plate for a called strike. 1-1 the count. And Andres Barbin chops it foul down the first base line.
Just a long strike, two, on that one.
As always, handing out some awards. Applied Social Plus. Playmaker Play of the Game. Went with the Damon Ince single, RBI single that gave Snow Canyon 9-8 win in the game earlier. Who will be the playmaker tonight in this one? There's a strikeout by Jake Andreas, another SNS Mechanical strikeout.
Big strikeout by Andreas. Barbin, he went outside the zone and Barbin chased.
We'll also be selecting a Hearst Ace Hardware Player of the Game, as well as some other awards. Stay tuned all night long. And a Baldwin pop-up, shallow left center. And Wynn getting to it, but tracked down. They'll tag the runner from third, and there's a run for the Mustangs to cut the lead in half at 3-2 now. Sack fly for Baldwin and a ribby. Good job there with Baldwin, just making sure you score one here.
Absolutely, and you always want to answer with something in the bottom of the inning when your opponents, put a 3 spot in the top of the second. You want to answer with something. They have with one, but there's 2 more sitting out there. And certainly Ty Maynard wants to drive him in here.
2 Mustangs out there, second and third. Andreas has Maynard offer and gets through the right side. 1 run will score. Here comes the runner around third. The play at the plate, not quite in time. Maynard scoring his brother Maynard and McKay Wright. And just like that, Crimson retakes the lead.
Wow. Clutch hit. Went oppo with it, and it paid off for him, and he is pumped. Just out of Orton's reach. Maynard comes in sliding head first into home plate. Drags his hand across the dish for run number 4. 4-3, Mustangs retake the lead.
Yeah.
Here in the bottom of the second.
A lot of action early on, Mark. A lot of action.
Yeah.
So everybody can kind of settle in.
Settle in. I'm on the edge of my seat already, Dev.
I am too, literally.
My goodness.
Andreas to Soto, swing and a miss. Quickly now 1-1 the count. Andreas delivers and a foul straight back. Yeah, every game writes its own script. This is not exactly how I envisioned it. Although I haven't had a lot of time to think how I envisioned this game playing out, because we've been working game after game after game.
Well, we had, 2 really good pitchers. Obviously, Moore is going to play Utah Tech. There goes the runner. Ball is called. That ball flies into center field. But Franco was charging, and so Skinner will hold up at second. 2 good pitchers, but, we're getting late in the week where, I know we're midweek, but getting towards the end of this tournament, and, bats are really coming alive.
Andreas just a bit outside. Wanted to get you some softball scores from the first day of the softball state championships. They were over at the Cottonwood Complex. I understand the stream had some internet problems today, but apologize for that. Hot shot, it stays fair. Petey Soto Jr. is going to give Crimson a 5-3 lead, and he's got a stand-up RBI double.
Wow.
Ridgeline earlier today beat Mountain Crest 9-0.
This is softball scores, by the way.
Brought to you by Nets on Fire. You see the Soto double down the line, just fair. Snow Canyon won their first game, beat Crimson Cliffs 3-1. Bear River beat Cedar 7-2. And Desert Hills beat Skyview 1-0. Then Snow Canyon dropped a 2-0 loss to Ridgeline. Crimson got eliminated. Mountain Crest beat them 9-3. And Cedar bounced back to beat Skyview 14-7. And Bear River got past Desert Hills 4-2. All your scores from the first day of the 4A State Softball Championships. There's at Cottonwood Complex again tomorrow, and then they shift to BYU Friday, Saturday.
Called strike against Evans there for a 0-1 count. Andreas trying to work ahead in the count.
And swinging a drive by Evans, and this is going to get down, and this is going to score another run. It's 6-3 Mustangs. Both these teams coming out showing either firepower or offensively. Crimson is the team that has to win. If Crimson does, they'll play again tomorrow night at 7. If Dixie does, no games tomorrow, and they'll face Snow Canyon Friday. Swinging a miss. Big cut there by Breck Starley. Thinking home run, maybe?
Yeah, he was looking to widen the score to 8-3 on that one.
6 runs on 7 hits, 1 error for the Mustangs. Ooh, called strike. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Flyers. That's your Adams Wealth Advisors statistics. Appreciate Adams Wealth Advisors, locations Logan and St. George. Meet with one of their financial planners today. Go to adamswealthadvisors.com. That one outside. And it's quickly 1-2 the count with 2 away here. Already a 5-run second inning, bottom half of the second inning for the Mustangs. High, they're going to try to swipe a bag, and they got him hosed.
Oh, yeah.
Great play by Ridge Erickson.
And I do not like that by Evans. I know he's got some wheels, but you just took the bat out of one of your best hitters' hands. It wasn't even close.
Yeah. And Evans knew it as he just slid and then started walking to the dugout. So, but damage done there as they get to Andres for 5 runs and, 4 hits. And all of a sudden, Crimson back out in front. 6-3 on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. Back to UVU after this timeout. A message from our great local sponsors.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Jersey Mike's.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit adamswealthadvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today.
Welcome back on The Fan, as well as on KSLSports.com. Your home with the 4A State Baseball Championship lives here. The #1 source for local sports. And Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave, Boulevard home. We go to the 3rd inning, Morse. Working on Max Orton, who will lead off the inning. What a season for Max. Junior has just climbed up in the lineup, earned that starting job at second base, hitting .454.
That'll definitely earn you a spot.
Petey Soto grabs that shot out there to short, throws it over to first, 6-3 the put out.
Yeah, Flyers just looking to answer that 5 spot that the Mustangs put on the bottom of the second. Morris trying to shut them down. And then try to tack on some more.
Appreciate our friends at Mountain Land Supply. They're home for Bryant. Commercial or residential Bryant, whatever it takes. Found at Mountain Land Supply, St. George. Strike there to Blake Watson, 1 for 1 tonight. Like everybody's already got a hit tonight. And that one fouled up and out of play. Cache Valley Bank foul ball. Who will make the Red Bed Regeneration Energy play tonight? We've already seen some good ones. I like that glove by Levitt back in the first. I like 2 great gloves by Petey Soto defensively.
Yeah.
And the pitch outside from Morris. And it's 2-2 now to Blake. Graduation for these seniors next week. That would make a state championship for the seniors of Snow Canyon, Crimson, or Dixie would make graduation a little bit sweeter, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. I remember it was my first year announcing graduation at Desert Hills on that 2019 state championship team, and it was so much fun announcing those baseball players' names, and they were all pumped and fist bumping me and all kinds of great stuff. So yeah, certainly something that they would do as well. Yeah, good time. It would be a nice graduation.
Morris. Watson locked in about, full count pitch. Swing and a miss. S&S mechanical strikeout for Aaron Morris.
Morris wins the battle, living down low in the zone. Watson just can't even get a piece of it. Morris looks like he's kind of settled in here a little bit after a rough second inning.
Third K of the game for Morris. And here is Ridge Erickson. Wind up and the pitch for Morris. Fouled straight back.
Ridge is 1 for 1 tonight. Looking to make it 2 for 2 against his nemesis, Aaron Morris. Aaron delivers high for ball 1. 1-1 the count. 2 outs here in the top of the third. Nobody on. Ridge trying to start a 2-out rally. That's outside, ball 2. 2-1.
Two down here. 6-3 the score. Mustangs have the lead. And Erickson pops it up to center. Going back. The wind blowing it, and it's dropped by West on an over-the-shoulder attempt, and Ridge will get to second. And West hits his glove against his leg, frustrated. That's the win right there, Mark.
Yep, right there. Case in point, we were just talking about that a little bit earlier, and I thought it was just going to be a pop fly, and that ball just kept traveling, and West, I think, thought the same thing. Thought he could just camp underneath it, and that ball just kept going. When you can see the outfielder's numbers on his back, that's not a good sign.
He didn't come in. He went straight back.
Yeah.
But he was playing a little bit shallow.
Ooh.
And he had every opportunity at play. He squeezed the mitt too soon.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Before it got into the webbing. Kind of what it looked like. And that one fouled straight back off the bat of Coop. CB looking for his first hit of the night.
Flyers trying to pick up a run just to answer that 5 spot that the Mustangs put on the board. They're chasing 3 right now. I know it's early, but you got to kind of keep pace with the Mustangs.
And got a strike there.
Bartholomew didn't agree with it. It looks right back at the home plate umpire and didn't say anything, but gave him a little tiny bit of a stare down. Boy, you can hear the crowd high for a ball. 1-2 the count.
Rainbow's just hanging out. Rainbow's been there, what, about 20 minutes now, Mark?
Yeah,
it's getting bigger, I feel like.
It's getting bigger and brighter. Now, is it raining?
And we can see look at this backdrop, the rainbow. And it's raining like crazy now, and everybody's heading for the higher ground, so to speak.
Yeah, for sure.
Going up in the stands.
My goodness.
Got a bunch of St. George people up here that probably came up in shorts and tank tops.
Well, I'm in shorts. You're in shorts.
Me too.
Cannons in shorts.
But we're in a press box. Umbrella. Somebody brought an umbrella. One smart fan. And that one missing as well. 2-2 the count. Now 3-2 after that one missing. It was funny to see everybody just go up about 20 rows.
Macy was telling me earlier that she went to Walmart today in Bloomington and a downpour started on her today down in St. George.
Fouled out of play.
Again, the Flyers just trying to answer, try to keep pace with these Crimson Cliffs Mustangs bats. They have really picked up the last 3 games.
Well, the nice thing about turf, the field won't get unplayable, Mark.
Right.
You're not going to get any puddles. You're not going to get any. You have to bring the tarp out. And that one missed. And a great AB there by Coop as he draws the walk. And Dixie needs base runners here, trying to get a little rally stop, 2-out rally.
Yeah, he worked a walk. I mean, my goodness, I think he started off either 0-2 or 1-2 in that at bat. And he worked it all the way, fouled off a few pitches, and earned himself a walk.
Look at the pitchers, though.
Oh, my goodness. Now, as beautiful as this is, and we do have a decent crowd here tonight, but just think if this game was being held at Bruce Hurst Field, it would be a packed house. But I'd love it up here in Orem, in Provo.
And we'll play and back in time.
Good hands by Petey Soto Jr.
Yeah, that's Ridge out there at second. Bartholomew's at first with 2 down here. Top 3. Morris low and away. Ball 1.
Petey Soto Jr., the shortstop, flashing the signs to Morris. Maybe there's something on here. No, Petey floats back to his position.
Yeah,
high chopper.
That's going to be Morris covering, flipping time. And out number 3. We go to the middle of the third. 6-3. Crimson leads over Dixie on the Wilkinson scoreboard.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
In Utah, we love our sports. At KSL, we live and breathe sports. Wherever the action is.
Look who we found in Pasadena.
We're there. Wherever you are. Tune in. On air, online, and on the new KSL Sports app. We cover it all. From high school to pro. And the only radio team that's home to the Utah Jazz. KSL Sports Live and KSL Sports Zone. The one team that never stops tracking your teams.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Call 435-251-2299 to find the location nearest you.
Welcome back, everybody. Devin Dixie, Mark Musgrave, Caden Formaster producing this game on KSLSports.com. Cannon running the cameras for us. Look at these shots Cannon's getting right now.
Oh, beautiful.
Rory back in the Findlay Hyundai studios on the radio production side.
Dusty, you'd be very proud of these shots we're getting right now.
Yeah.
You know, he wanted Cannon on the camera for this game.
Yeah.
He knew it was a big game, and he goes, I got to have Cannon.
He knows there's a rainbow coming. And the wind has dropped a little bit. The umbrellas, there's only about 4 or 5 of them that brought them, but they must have looked at the weather. There was rain in the forecast Salt Lake. I didn't think it was going to get down here to the Provo-Orem area, but it has here in the later evening.
They probably brought them for shade.
True.
But they're certainly working out right now for the rain.
And that one missing Starley here. 1-2 leading off. The bottom of the third inning for the Mustangs, the home team in this matchup between the 2-seed Crimson and the 3-seed Dixie. Mustangs lost back on Monday to Green Canyon 5-1. Then won Tuesday, already won earlier today. And
now, when to the end, the bottom of the second inning, I said that it kind of took the bat out of Stardy's hands with Evans, but somebody that knows a little bit more about baseball than me actually said it was a good steal, because at the time the count was 1-2, so Stardy was behind a little bit. Now he got to refresh his count. Now it has worked it a little bit, but works a walk.
That's one way to spin it as a positive.
Yeah, for sure.
For the Mustangs, no question.
And thank you.
Never want to get caught stealing, but
thank you, Jim, for calling me out on that. I appreciate it.
And lost him. And Starley is aboard. And here is Ty West.
Six to 3 here. Bottom of the third. Mustangs would love to put a few more on the board and kind of, oh, there's a goal.
And that's going to be an unassisted put out, but it does move the runner. So nice sacrifice there by Ty West.
Yeah, productive out. Put Starley into scoring position.
Yeah, like a little small ball when you got a 3-run lead to try to put some more runners into scoring position.
I love small ball, Dev. I really do.
I like a certain dose of it. I do. I appreciate the time. There's definitely a time and place for it.
I just love everything gets put into motion on a bunt, a drag bunt, a sack bunt.
I do like it at the high school level, because sometimes teams don't, I feel like, know how to field defensive. It forces the pressure to mount in a big situation, like in a state tournament, if you haven't worked on that.
It definitely puts stress on the defense. I love hitting runs, love putting runners in motion. It opens up other holes in the infield. We've seen that happen a couple of times this tournament.
Andreas, delivery outside of McKay Wright. Again, McKay Wright swatting 450. McKay is just a sophomore. You look at, some up-and-coming guys. He'll be back. Still Barban will be back. Trey Evans will be back. Like, you do have a loaded senior class, but you do have a lot of guys coming back that are playing meaningful innings for Justin Abbott.
A lot of good hitters. I don't know what they have at the pitching that's coming back. Obviously, Ross is leaving. Sampson's leaving.
Yeah.
Morris is leaving.
Yep. They're not worried about that right now, but
no.
They got Osborne coming back. And Barban can pitch. We saw Cottom earlier today.
They'll be a little bit different for sure, not having those 3 aces that Abbott has had the luxury of having for the past 2 years.
Pretty impressive for McKay Wright, though, to burst on the scene with all the talent and upperclassmen around him and have the season he's having. Speaks volumes of how hard he's worked. And we saw him, I think he was the leading tackler on the football team, and didn't even play every snap. Yeah, swing and a miss this time, though. Andreas gets him, an S&S mechanical strikeout. Can't tell if the rain's still coming down. The umbrella's down now. Looks like it's let up.
Yep, it's let up.
So that little cell is kind of past the ballpark here.
Rainbow still hanging around, though. Oh, nice grab, backhand by Ridge. Erickson well out of the left-handed batter's box. Ball one.
Yep, 1-0 count. One on out there at second. Two away here in the third. Bottom half. Mustangs looking to add to their 6-3 lead with a key hit. Here they get it. Maynard up the middle into center. Here comes the runner. The throw will be cut off, and Crimson leads 7-3. And how about Maynard? He's swinging it there. Tate scoring Starley from second.
Yeah, beautiful. Sent it right back where it came from. Line drive over the pitcher's head. You know, as a hitter, you always think middle, think middle, think middle. And then when you do it, boy, that feels good.
And they have got now 8 hits off of Jake Andreas. And there's a shot to short. Vesto gobbles it up. Double clutches, still goes to second in time for out number 3. So 1 run, 2 hits. And now on the Wilkinson scoreboard, 7-3. Mustangs lead the Flyers. We go to the 4th when we come back here to Utah Valley in the 4A State Baseball Championships.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Think Bucks.
Welcome back. It's a Region 10 matchup here in Orem, Utah, Utah Valley University on UCCU Ballpark. Beautiful, beautiful venue here.
Guess who I just ran into?
Oh, my gosh. You just went to the restroom, Devin. Who did you run into?
Well, I wanted you to take a guess. Coach for one of these two teams in another sport.
Okay. I'm going to go Coach Monkers.
Good guess, but no. Coach Andy Stokes, who was going to be coming down to Crimson to team up with Coach Wayne Alofapo, who, of course, spent many moons with Coach Monkers at Dixie High School. But now they're going to be over there at Crimson teaming up together once again. Hadn't seen Andy for a minute.
But you were fast. That was a quick hi and goodbye.
Yeah, I said we got to catch up soon. Call you later. And there's a hit there.
One pitch and now we got a runner on first base.
Levitt's hot right now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Levitt seeing it well in this state tournament, to say the least. And he's 2 for 2, already an RBI. And here is Kason Bell.
Again, the Flyers just trying to keep pace with this hot-hitting Mustang team. They've given Morris a 4-run advantage right now. It is 7-3, top of the 4th. Game moving along quite quickly, even though we've had a lot of runs scored. The pace has been really nice, well outside for ball 1.
The Warriors, a lot of the Warriors sitting right in front of us here watching this game. Of course,
they can chill for a while.
Yep, they know they got an off day tomorrow. So leadoff hit there for Levitt, and now Kason Bell, who struck out 0 for 1, trying to get into the hit column here.
Senior here for the Dixie Flyers.
They did
great
keep
career.
him under. They kept him under 85 yesterday. They kept him at 80 pitches. So pitching on Tuesday, got to have 2 days rest. So if Dixie were to win this game, they could use him Friday, or they could save him for Saturday on 3 days rest. But that will remain to be seen, because right now Crimson's actually got the 4-run lead, 7-3. And Morris seems to have settled down a little bit here, and a good pitch, and got Bell again.
Wow.
Another S&S mechanical strikeout.
Looked like about on the same pitch too, Dev, that he got him on the previous at bat, left low in the zone.
Here's Braxton Yates. Yates is also already 2 for 2 in this game, just like Logan Levitt is. And an RBI, 2 RBIs to his credit. Shout out to Uncle Bill watching Logan swing it back in St. George. Yates, of course. I was talking about this the other day. There's such a, you talk about the fly fam and everything and those mantras, but this truly is a family affair, because you had Cooper Vest and Boston Vest and Riker Erickson, then GJ Erickson, and now Ridge Erickson, and you look at all these flyers that have come through, and you got AJ Levitt and Logan Levitt. There's so many younger brothers of former flyers. Now Crimson has, in their defense, hasn't been around long enough to have as many of those.
That type of tradition, right?
With the school just being open now, 4 years?
Yeah.
And a shot there, and they lined them out and doubled them up. Levitt was going, and it was caught by Barban in the easy throw over to first, and that'll end the threat.
Rally killer right there.
So no runs on 1 hit, nobody left on base. The old line out, double them up. 7-3 Mustangs on the Wilkinson scoreboard. We'll be right back.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Inspired design. Ultra quiet operation. To you, it's a Bride Evolution cooling system. To us, it's the ultimate machine.
All set.
For the dealer nearest you, visit Bryant.com.
Party for 20% off. houseofjump.com.
Back here, and Jager Baldwin set to lead things off. First pitch swinging and fouled up and out of play.
And you could tell just he was holding his shoulder there, Deb. It's really giving him a little bit of an issue here, but he is a trooper fighting through it for his team.
And a shot up the middle, and he's 2 for 2 tonight with a bum shoulder.
And you can tell on that swing, there was no follow through. He just put the barrel out there and shot it right back up the middle.
His hand-eye coordination is fine. Shoulder might hurt.
Goodness.
Unbelievable job. Just a grinder, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about it. Tough as nails. Everybody knows Jager knows that. They've known that for a long time. And there's a bunt, a good one. And Levitt charging hard. A little windmill sidearm throw is on the money over to Coop at first. That was a heck of a play by Logan Levitt. Woo!
My goodness. And he just made it look effortless.
I said
that is not an easy play.
To Caden the other day, if Levitt hits a home run, I'm going to start calling him the Levitator. Logan the Levitator, Levitt. But
oh, Deb.
You don't like it?
No, I like it.
You like it? We'll see if he gets one. Andres, and that's a hot shot back up the middle. This could score a run. Here comes Baldwin cruising around third, and he will score. 8-3 Mustangs. RBI single again. And already the 10th hit of the game off Jake Andres for the Mustangs. You know, sometimes you get in this situation, and the bats were hot earlier today. They went 11-1, and they've already played a game, and Dixie had to sit around to the nightcap, and they just kind of pick it up where they left off. Now, Dixie bats came out hot there in that second inning where they scored 3. And that one missing. Ball 1 to Trey Evans. Trey 2 for 2 tonight as well. I feel like everybody's about 2 for 2 tonight.
It certainly seems like it.
And all of a sudden, Trey, when he hit that ball yesterday at Miller Park, deep to center, and they flagged it down, I'm like, okay, he's starting to see it again. And he has been on fire today. Had a near home run in the game earlier, went off the yellow in left center field. Had a double to deep left center in the farthest dimensions of this ballpark already in this one. I mean, he's already got 4 hits on the day. Put 2 for 3 earlier today and 2 for 2 in this one. So he's having himself a typical Trey. And he's kind of making up for lost time with that hamstring injury that slowed him down all year and kept him out of the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
There is the 2-1 pitch, but Andreas will step off instead.
Andreas at 63 pitches, if you were wondering out there.
Yeah, and you kind of wonder what the game plan will be and how long they'll keep him out there. 5-run deficit right now. Again, if Crimson were to win, they would play Dixie again tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And Evans puts another ride into this one. Going back, Franco, it's over his head. And Evans is going to cruise into second. He's going to keep trucking to third, and it's going to be a play at third. No, he's diving in safe. It's an RBI triple for Trey Evans. He stays hot.
Again, he squares that up, hits a frozen rope out into left center field. Franco, like you said, could not catch up to it.
Wind's let up, but it's still blowing out. And you can tell he
that was not wind aided.
He hit that in the fat part of the bat. Yeah, no. Nothing wrong with the swing. He's had a bad hammy, but there's nothing wrong with that swing.
And dude, it doesn't look like there's anything wrong with his legs at all.
No, the
way he's moving around on the base paths.
And earlier today, it kind of felt like he was favored a little bit, but the way he cruised to third there, maybe he's closer to 100%. There's a throw behind Evans, diving back safe. That's the sneakiness of Rich Erickson.
It really
right there.
is.
He's not scared to make that throw.
1 out here.
And you wonder what's going through Danny Ibsen's mind right now. You know you got an opportunity tomorrow. So you're staying with Andreas maybe normally than you would if it was an elimination game for the Flyers. Don't you think, Mark? Because he walks Brexton Starley.
Yeah.
Center fielder, number 24, Tyler West.
Here comes Tyler West after the walk. Runners on the corners, just 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Mustangs scored 1 in the first, 5 in the second, 1 more in the third, and now already 2 more here in inning number 4. 9-3 lead, 9 runs on 11 hits, 1 error for the Mustangs, 3 runs, 7 hits for the Flyers, no errors.
And now Ty West stepping in. He's got those red and black Jordan cleats. Absolutely love those.
Those are sweet. And a shot through, diving. Orton cannot get to it. And everybody continuing to hit right now for the Mustangs. And he'll put that mitt on, that running mitt, to protect the hand.
Yeah, this game getting a little out of control here, out of reach. If you're the Flyers.
You know, we were talking about seniors too. Ty West will be back next year. I mean, the cupboard is not bad for the Mustangs. No. Just thinking out loud, looking ahead. You know, say they go back to back, that storyline becomes even bigger. Dixie's, though, the team that's capable of coming back from a big deficit, but all of a sudden you look up and they're down by 7 runs.
Well, and certainly they do have the bats to do it, but I just don't see these Mustang hitters slowing down.
Well, now they're seeing for a 3rd time through, and that's hit hard to left, but hooking foul. Foul by a good 10 or 12 feet.
And again, squared up, though, by Wright.
Glad you're with us here on the Fan. Utah Valley. Just a little cell came through, but now it's started to kind of settle in. Dark clouds, though, in the distance.
Well, even the flag has kind of settled down a little bit. It's still a breeze out there a little, but certainly not wind. I'd call it a breeze now.
Wright fights this off. Out of play. Thanks some of our great sponsors. Ben Blasters. How about that Ben Blasters blast for another triple there by Trey Evans. Clean can plan. BenBlasters.com. Get those garbage cans cleaned.
There's a ball that just rolled from, I believe, the bullpen, but it just rolled across the Utah Valley logo behind home plate umpire. I'm like, what is going on here?
They flipped it over the Dixie dugout. Coach Gibson, I believe, just one-handed that into the dugout. Andreas, chopper off the bat of Wright, stabbed by Levitt. Levitt, beautiful play again at third base for out number 2. Woo, that was sensational. He makes it look routine.
He's just got great hands down there. And then his exchange from his glove to his throwing hand is just flawless.
Logan Levitt.
You know, watch it here. Watch the exchange. Boom. Man.
Nice play.
And he even had a little hiccup in that exchange, but still plenty enough arm strength to get him out.
Here's Maynard. This is Tate, Maynard. Swing and a miss, and Ridge Erickson wants to talk to Jake.
Probably got crossed up a little bit. That's why he's running out there.
Whatever it was, it worked because Maynard swung and missed.
Yeah, crossed up Tate as well.
Appreciate Finley Subaru. Jason Baum, Equity Home Loans, Red Bed Regeneration, Morgan Pest Control, some of our great sponsors. Of course, stats all game long, all postseason, brought to you by Adams Wealth Advisors. Still looking for that donut run home run. Had one home run out of the park today, but that was by Andrew Nielsen of Mountain Crest in the 11 o'clock game earlier today, the first game of the day. Mountain Crest and Green Canyon were sent home today with their losses earlier.
1-2 the count here to Tate Maynard.
Bear River also sent home with their loss to Mountain Crest in that first game of the day. 3 teams sent packing.
Yeah, it's a tough day.
We started with 8 here this week on a Monday, and we're down to 3. Swing and a miss, and down goes Tate Maynard. Strike 3, another S&S mechanical strikeout for Andreas. And we go to the middle of the inning here on the scoreboard. Another 3 runs on the board for the Mustangs, who lead on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard 10-3 on the Fan.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Protected. Call Udine Associates.
When it comes to your child's teeth, Dr. Cody and his experienced staff at Johnson Pediatrics Dentistry are game changers. Take advantage now of the new patient special, which includes x-ray exam and cleaning for one low price. Call to schedule your appointment today at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 656-0511.
Create your own relaxing, comfortable space. Boulevard Home offers the guaranteed best prices on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. And buy with no interest financing. Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
Welcome back here to UCCU Ballpark on the campus of Utah Valley University, also known as UVU. It's a Region 10 matchup here in the 4A state classification baseball state tournament. And it is 10-3 right now. Mustangs over the Flyers.
Morris, who's settled down a little bit since they got to him for those 3 runs in the second. Put a couple of goose eggs in the first, third, and fourth on the board. And pitch count still pretty reasonable. This is a fun matchup between these two stars, Aaron Morris and Boston Vest.
Yeah, for sure.
Top 5 just getting underway here.
The Flyers are going to try to get back in this game. They're running out of innings. They need to start here in the top of the 5th.
Vest actually 0 for 2 tonight. Morris, that was, I believe, his 61st pitch of the game.
Yep. And Vest finds himself down in the count right now, 1-2. So advantage Morris, doesn't really have to pitch anything in the zone. Trying to get Vest to chase here. Let's see what happens. Oh, way outside of the zone. 2-2 the count.
Tonight's game brought to you by Buck Brand Beef. Vest in that Buck Brand Beef batter's box, homegrown Southern Utah beef. Outside. Call, get a half side or get a full side and split it like me and Mark are going to do.
Yep.
You can either email or call 435-644-2825 or email buckbrand@gmail.com. And got him.
Wow. That, it looked like he was almost headed to first, like it hit him.
And
that was, we can cue that up and see how close it was.
That was either on the black or off the plate, but definitely on the inside. And Vest, I mean, who has a great eye, obviously, he thought it was going to be
here we go.
A ball. He's crowding the plate a little bit. Ooh. Framed up nicely, though, by Maynard. Tough call against Boston Vest. Here's Max Orton.
Max Orton, again, like you had mentioned a couple of times, he has just earned his spot here in the Flyer lineup at second base.
He's starting to become a star, if you ask me.
Really has. No question.
I've known Dusty, his dad, for a long time. Played a lot of softball back in the early days, back around 2000, 2001, 2002. Orton going to try to beat out an infield grounder, and he cannot. Good play again by Petey Soto Jr. and 2 down quickly.
You know, talking about how Logan Levitt is smooth down there at the hot corner for the Flyers. Well, Petey Soto Jr. just as smooth, if maybe not just a little bit smoother over there at shortstop for the Mustangs.
10-3 Mustangs. And that one, Watson fouls, giving chase. Starley, but he gets out of play.
Boy, all 3 Mustangs went running for that one. Starley, Morris, and Maynard all trying to get that free out. Catch that foul ball.
Morris now looking in. Ty Maynard signaling what he wants here. And there's a beautiful pitch for the strike. 0-2 now to Blake Watson.
Yeah, no doubter there. That was right down the pipe in the K zone.
Watson is 1 for 2 tonight. And ball 1. Morris just trying to see if he chased something up and away. Morris looks like he's almost gained velo. That one tried to get Blake Watson to chase down in the zone. He does not 2-2 the count.
Yeah, Morris really settled in. He's put 2 goose eggs on the Flyers there, and they strikes out the side.
Got him.
With a backwards K.
Got Watson looking there. Beautiful pitch by the Bulldog, Aaron Morris. And through 4.5. 10-3. Mustangs lead the Flyers here on the Fan Sports Network.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on StGeorgeNews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at StGeorgeNews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's.
251-2299 to find the location nearest you.
Back live here. Mountain American Credit Union, the presenting sponsor of the Utah High School Activities Association. This is the 4A State Baseball Championships. Brought to you by the Boulevard. Stream brought to you by UCCU. You can see Love Where You Bank on the UCCU banner out there in left field. It's UCCU ballpark. It's actually doTERRA Field, I believe.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
You see the doTERRA on the field on the first and third base line.
It's witchcraft.
You know what I do like is it deep blue?
Yeah, so Landon does too.
Yeah. And I know Young Living was first, and they've got some great products, and doTERRA's coming along strong, and you got the BioFreeze and the Icy Hot and all that stuff.
I just call it witchcraft, Devin.
The Bengay.
Oils and
there's a swing and a drive, but going to be hanging up and caught out there in right field by Yates and one away as Steel Barber flies out.
And, the Mustangs here, too, the Flyers have to be a little bit careful. They get 3 runs on the board, and we're going home a little bit earlier than expected.
Well, you might call it, I want to go back to your previous comment, witchcraft or whatever you said. I got some of that in my golf bag. Right now I got a little BioFreeze in the back.
Yeah.
It's going to get hot out. I like that cooling.
Yeah,
cooling relief rather than the hot relief.
Hey, Landon loves it. He's used it all baseball season.
You need it more than him.
I probably do. I'm going to have
young, you're old.
Have to reach out to my doTERRA expert, Liz, and maybe get some stuff.
Flyers and the Mustangs, will they meet again? Well, if the score's holding up, yes, they will. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And right now, the pitch, and Jager Baldwin diving underhand basket catch, taking away a hit from Jager Baldwin, who was 2 for 2 before he lined out there to Franco. Good play by Trace Franco.
Yeah, beautiful sliding catch by the Flyer center fielder.
By the way, this is Trey Whitney now into the game. This is Trey Whitney in relief.
Oh, okay.
So the day is done for Jake Andreas. And Whitney working here his numbers.
Looks like the Warriors they've had enough today. Looks like they might be getting ready to pack up and head back to the hotel, get a good night's sleep, have a day off tomorrow.
And Maynard, shot to vest, shortstop gathers and throws, and 6-3 the putout. So how about Whitney coming in, the senior, who has a 1.02 ERA, 2-0 record, and putting them down 1-2-3 in order.
Love it.
Move to the middle of the 6th. When we come back, 10-3 Mustangs on the Wilkinson scoreboard.
Inspired design. Ultra quiet operation. To you, it's a Bride Evolution cooling system. To us, it's the ultimate machine.
All set.
For the dealer nearest you, visit Bryant.com.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main and Cedar City. For the AWP Playmaker of the Game.
Mark, are you surprised as we welcome you back here to Utah Valley University? I mean, Dixie came out swinging it, man. They had a quick 3-1 lead after the top of the second, but that lead is long since gone. Since the bottom half of that second, where 5 runs scored by the Mustangs, and they haven't looked back now, up by 7, 10-3.
Yeah, if the Flyers are going to do something, they're running out of innings. They need to do it now. I said that in the top of the 5th. They couldn't push anything across the dish. Well, they've only got 6 more outs.
Right.
We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, we will.
In the top of the 6th here, Morris still in the game for the Mustangs.
And why not? He settled in nicely.
Yeah, he really has. Again, like Devin said a little bit earlier, the weather has kind of calmed down a little bit. Everybody's back to normal. And it's so strange. I'm looking at that flag. It looks like the flag is like blowing in now. Am I seeing that wrong out there? Is that flag blowing in now?
A little bit. The hitters have had the advantage. Now the pitchers maybe get a little help. Love the red, white, and blue. I love Christmas. I love Thanksgiving. Super Bowl is like a holiday to me. New Year's, but I love the 4th of July.
4th of July is my favorite holiday of the year.
Beats Christmas, huh?
And I love New Year's. Christmas is at one of the lowest. I am not a Christmas guy.
Macy goes shopping. Doesn't make Mark happy. Is that why or no?
I don't know. I just...
You know, you get some NFL and some NBA.
You do.
Christmas.
Yeah. I agree.
You know, with young kids, it's fun. It's fun to see them smiling when Santa Claus comes to town.
I will say, when Landon and Dalton were much younger, it was a much more fun holiday. But you know, Landon being 18, Dalton 21.
I feel you. My youngest is still 11, though, so Christmas is still fun.
Ooh,
a rip shot by Bartholomew for extra base hit as he takes a turn around first, heads to second. And Cooper Bartholomew will get a stand-up double. And he's 1 for 2 tonight.
Hey, there you go.
A little something to get maybe the wheels turning for the Flyers.
Get a little momentum going here.
And again, I mean, they know they had one in their pocket, being undefeated coming into this game tonight.
Center fielder,
but you see, whether you win or lose, and that was just fair by inches.
Just a great shot right down the line.
All the way to the coffin corner. And they've got to Morris for 8 hits. I mean, he came in on the season giving up 9 hits. He's given up 8 tonight.
Right.
That's how good Dixie's swinging it, and yet they're still down by 7 at the moment. Don't count the Flyers out if they can go get half these back here. Moore's pitch count now at 78, I think. And, you know, you got to be thinking it's Wednesday. 2 days of rest, Thursday, Friday. You may want to have him available, just thinking ahead for Saturday.
Sure.
So you might want to keep him under 84 with a 7-run lead right now. Oh, and it got away on a hop, and Franco is safe. He'll turn and go to second. Short hopped Starley at first, and everybody's safe. Second, third with 1 out. You do get the sensational plays, but then sometimes you get a play like that where it's a tough one to make, and the throw just wasn't perfect.
Watch it here. Looks him back, throws it, short hop. That's the worst part, or the worst hop for a first. Like right in front of the glove. I'd rather have him bounce it 6 feet short and pick up that bounce.
And a guy, even though he's hitting 8th in the lineup tonight, you probably want to play it right now, and that's Logan Levitt.
2 for 2. Boy, he gets right up there on that chalk line. Crowding the plate.
Foul ball. Brought to you by Cache Valley Bank, Mountains Awake, your financial outfitter. Love our sponsors. You've been hearing them all week long. I want to remind everybody, game brought to you by Donut Run. I promised a levitator call here if Levitt gets a home run, too. S&S Mechanical.
A little bit more difficult with that wind blowing in a little bit.
Of course, our Bucks Ace Hardware look ahead will be, if this score holds up, these same two teams tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Appreciate Bucks Ace Hardware. Got the Memorial Day sale fired up over there at the 3 Southern Utah Bucks Ace Hardware locations. Great gun department. I got to go get some more Roundup and some more weed and feed. Summer Guard, whatever you call it.
With all the moisture we've gotten, man, the weeds are coming fast and furious.
I went through like 3 big cans of Roundup, and I still got weeds popping up.
Yeah. I've been making rounds. I try to make a round once a week.
I thought you'd have lawn service. No lawn service. You like to do your own lawn.
Me and Macy, we get out and do it. Yeah.
Same way.
Yeah. Macy and I, we tag team it. I'll do the
I would rather pay for a house cleaning service than a lawn care service.
Yeah, agreed.
And a foul up and away. Appreciate Mountain Land Supply.
Plus, Macy's from a farm family. They're farmers.
Don't mind.
Yeah. As am I.
Idaho?
As am I. No, Northern California.
Northern Cali.
Yeah.
Are they farming wine?
No.
Grapes?
Prunes. Seriously, prunes.
Cool.
Walnuts, peaches.
Love it.
Kiwis.
Really?
Yeah.
We up in Chico?
Just south of Chico, yep.
And that one gets away. Levitt says stay put. Runners at second, third. In the top of the 6th here. Full count with 1 away for Logan Levitt.
Big moment for the junior.
Yeah, home run here would change everything, wouldn't it?
It'll
give the Flyers a little mo.
Yeah, and it'll put a little stress on Morris.
And lost him. Not a bad idea. He's 2 for 2 tonight.
Yeah.
And now the bases are loaded for Case and Bell.
Yeah, not the worst thing in the world. And, you know, he's had much better luck against Case and Bell than he has Logan Levitt. And Coach Abbott's going to go out and talk. And he is at 85 pitches. According to
he's going to go get him. I think you got to go get him and save him for Saturday if necessary. I think this is the move.
They are, yep. That's what they're doing.
And Morris gets a round of applause from the Mustangs. We'll have a pitching change. Is it Fonalua? Is it coming in? We'll check on him when we come back. Let's take a break. Hear from our sponsors. 10-3. Mustangs have the lead. Pitching change after this timeout.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, Mountains Away, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
So it is Fehi, the senior. I mean, he's got some velo, Mark. We were at BYU the other day when he came in relief, and he was topping out there 87, 88. Some of the coaching staff was next to us in the broadcast booth and had the gun on him. And you look at the stats on Fehi, Fanalua. And they're pretty solid. He's 4.20 ERA. He only made 3 appearances. And he's only pitched 3 1/3. Walked 4, struck out 5. So it hasn't seen a lot of work. There's not a lot of innings to go around with Sampson and Ross and Morris.
They eat up a lot of innings for sure.
Yeah, Chow's got his fair share this year, and Starley's seen a little bit of time. Petey's thrown a little bit. Barman's thrown a little bit.
Yep.
I mean, like I say, Osborne. They got a lot of pitchers on the staff. And that's why we said immediately when Crimson lost on a Monday, if anybody was built in the pitching department to make a run back through, you had to believe it was the defending state champs just because of that fact alone. Now, they still have to go do it, and they still haven't won this game. And he did kind of have a little control. He's got the heat, but does he have the control? And there's a called strike. 1-1 the count. But high in velo for a high school pitcher. It was interesting because one of the BYU assistant coaches was like, who is this kid? When he saw him, hitting that 87 mark with the gun. First question was, is he a junior or a senior?
Yeah.
I want to know if he's still got some eligibility at the high school level. He is a senior. And there you see a little bit of the control there. One hopped in.
Yeah. Ty Maynard blocked just enough of it to kind of keep it in front of him so nobody advanced on that pitch.
And that skippers like the 3 we have left, Coach Ibsen and Coach Abbott here in this game and Coach Sechrist,
3 of the best.
Yeah, and that they give the innings and bullpens, inner squads to some of these guys to keep them sharp for this stage.
Right.
Just because you see during reason play a home and home with the 1 and the 2, and then maybe turn it over to a closer, doesn't mean these other guys aren't getting some JV reps or some inter squad reps.
Right. I think Maynard's going to go out there and talk to Fahey just for a second. Hey, we've got a 10-3 lead here. There's no place to put these guys with a walk. Go ahead and pitch to contact, and let's see what we can do with our defense. Settle him down a little bit. That's really good catching for Maynard, kind of managing that pitching staff.
Well, it had to be a tough call for Abbott, right? Like, you trust Morris, even though they hit him a little bit tonight. 8 hits, 3 runs. You know what you got with Morris.
Yes.
But you're thinking ahead as he walks in a run. It's 8-4 or 10-4. You're thinking ahead, going, I'm planning on being here till Saturday, and I'd love to have Morris back available.
Right.
So that had to be a tougher decision than you think, because if you lose this game, there is no Saturday. It doesn't matter.
That's exactly right.
So while I understand the move.
And you did, at the time of the move, 10-3 lead.
Yeah.
I don't question pulling Morris at that time.
I'm just saying it's probably a tougher decision than we made it out to be when they did make the move and kept him under the 80.
And especially with how he's pitched to Case and Bell.
And a swing and a shot, and Yates puts a charge into this one. Going back and getting it, though, is Jager Baldwin, but it will score a run. And it is now 10-5. I thought with the crack of the bat, that had a chance.
I wonder if 3 innings ago that isn't up against the wall or out.
Yeah, that wind has switched. I forgot about that. It is blowing in about 6 to 7 miles an hour. Crazy how the wind has switched tonight.
Boy, it really has.
But a good sac fly with only 1 out. Yates does his job, and now you put the bat in your junior shortstop's hands. Boston Vest stepped into the Buck Brand Beef batter box, looking for a red bed regeneration energy play here for the Flyers to try to give them a spark. They've got 2 runs already crossing the plate. Runners on the corner. 2 away. We're in the 6th.
Now does Bell go from first to second?
You mean, yeah.
Because he didn't advance on that fly ball.
Probably thought they were going to cut it. It's hit deep enough that maybe he'd play it second, even though you probably didn't have to play at the plate.
But if you can get him in scoring position, and then Vest gets a hit, then we're talking a 10-7 game again.
Correct. Lela with the strike there. And, he probably just needs to get loosened up a little bit, but certainly nerves coming in.
Oh, yeah, this is a big stage, man.
Yeah. But, boy, can he pump it. Good velo. Off-speed pitch there and hit right at Baldwin, who makes the play. So the Flyers do get 2. Yeah, chasing 5 is better than chasing 7.
Yep.
So we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and I'm assuming Whitney will be back out to pitch for Dixie when we come back here on the Fan Sports Network. Again, 10-5 on the Wilkinson scoreboard.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today.
UCCU will provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer or stop by any branch.
Back here at doTERRA Field, UCCU Ballpark. David Dixon, Mark Musgrave, Ken Formaster producing the Swiss Army knife of the Fan Sports Network crew.
Hey, I've been on camera.
Can't. Yeah, we've all been kind of tag teaming the broadcast this week. Cannon helping us out. Rory back in the studio. Great job keeping us on the air on the radio side. And Petey Soto Jr. to lead things off. That first pitch almost hit him, ball 1.
Yeah, Rory, he spent a lot of time in the Fan Sports Network studio the last few days.
And almost got him again.
Oh, Ridge didn't even attempt to go for it. It was that high.
Petey's like, okay. And then, okay on the second one here. I don't think it was intention. Although Petey is 2 for 3 tonight. And there's a strike. That's what Whitney needed.
12 hits for the Mustangs, 8 hits for the Flyers. 10-5 score here. Mustangs are up. That's ball 3. 3-1 the count.
Petey should get something here around the plate. Now a little high in the K zone, and he'll walk to first base. Yeah, more like a slight jog. The leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the 6th inning for the Mustangs. And here is Trey, who's having himself a day. Earlier today, a couple big hits, bunch of ribbies. Already 3 for 3 tonight. Bunch more ribbies. Trey tonight in this game,
he is raking it.
3 for 3 with 3 RBIs and a run scored. Haven't got him out.
Good cut. It's going to go down for a strike. 1-1 the count. Fouled it straight back. Boy, now look at that shot. Wow.
Yep.
Gorgeous.
And look, we're spoiled, St. George. I mean, Flyers always field pristine. All our fields.
All the fields are just
Why do you think they have
incredible.
So many? The weather's great in the spring, and you see everybody hosting preseason tournaments. And the fields are always dialed, but you don't have to mow these turf fields, and they are great. You kind of wonder down the road eventually whether some of the high schools might find the budget to do some turf, but
Trey didn't like that call. Kind of hopped out of the box a little bit, kind of showing up the home plate umpire a little bit. Home plate umpire said, "Come on, get back in here, son."
And a shot off the glove of Whitney over to Vest. He'll flip it on a hop and get Trey Evans.
Wow, what a play by Vest. He had to stop on a dime and then change directions because Whitney deflected it. Still had enough presence of mind to field it, and then just had enough arm strength to throw Evans out. And Evans is a quick runner.
Didn't get a lot on that, but got enough. So one hop it over to Coop. Solid focus there by Vest off that carom. Starley wants time. Whitney's done a nice job.
Yeah, he has.
And Whitney now sets. Comes to the plate with the delivery. Brushed him back. Ball one.
Boy, Whitney's really working the inside of that plate. Really going in on these hitters. Not afraid to go inside.
And a swing and a miss. Whitney, 1 1/3 work. He's walked one, but hasn't give up a run, which is huge, or a hit.
Oh.
And a swing and a drive, and there's the hit. First off, Whitney. Breck Starley pumps it to left. That'll score a run.
And
coming in, P.D. Soto from second base, and it's 11-5. Mustangs add one on the scoreboard here in the bottom half after Dixie got 2 in the top half. It's still just 1 away. Breck Starley having a nice night tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been hitting the ball hard, seeing it well.
So is this guy, Ty West. He's 2 for 2.
That's what I mean about this lineup. It just doesn't end. You get one 450 hitter, then you got another 450 hitter.
And jammed him up. Best calling everybody off in the infield and makes the play out number 2. Pop up to short. Tyler West.
It's almost like a Bronx Bombers type of lineup. It's you have success, you get one of these big sluggers out, and then here comes another one.
Well, 21 hits combined in this game. 13 for the Mustangs, 8 for the Flyers. A lot of star power on this field. A lot of next level baseball players on this field too.
Yep.
And a lot of underclassmen that will probably get that chance by the time it's all said and done.
No question.
Probably more than we think on this field.
No question.
Chopper high when he waits for it, gloves it, throw, and in time to get a hustling McKay right.
He was really calm on that.
So Whitney has come in and finally does give up an RBI hit. His first hit he's given up, and they do score a run. Add to that total 11 runs earlier today in the 11-1 win, and they've got an 11-5 lead here. As we go to the 7th, we come back again on the Wilkinson scoreboard. Crimson 11, Dixie 5 on the Fan.
In Utah, we love our sports. At KSL, we live and breathe sports. Wherever the action is.
Look who we found in Pasadena.
We're there. Wherever you are. Tune in. On air, online, and on the new KSL Sports app. We cover it all. From high school to pro. And the only radio team that's home to the Utah Jazz. KSL Sports Live and KSL Sports Zone. The one team that never stops tracking your teams.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Yeah, buddy. Devin, Mark, whole crew up here. Caden producing the video stream, KSLSports.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening back to St. George. If you're out and about on your Wednesday night, the 17th of May. And by Saturday, May 20th, the state champion will be crowned. It'll be Dixie. It'll be Crimson. Or it will be Snow Canyon.
It's going to be a Region 10 team. That is one thing we know for sure. That's a fact. And that's where...
And we were talking about that earlier. The last time somebody outside of a Southern Utah team won, it was Grantsville in 2014.
Wow.
And then you had to go back to 2011 to Spanish Fork. The last two teams that were not from
Region 9 or Region 10.
Correct.
Wow. So we're going
almost
9
10 years.
Yeah, almost 10 years. It'll be 10 years next time we enter the tournament.
Correct. So this will be 10 consecutive years that. So we got a little Mecca baseball powerhouse. And you see a lot of kids signing to play college football, and you see occasionally a kid or two from a couple schools signing to play basketball, and you get your track and field or your golfers. But I feel like we put more college baseball players into programs out of the region than any other sport. I don't even feel like it's that close.
I don't either. It's not close.
Whether it's JUCO, Division I, Division II.
Yep, doesn't matter.
NAIA.
And we have such great club coaches, where these boys play all summer long on their respective travel teams. Such great coaches as well, programs. The one that comes to my mind is CBA Summit with Coach Nelly. He's coached so many boys
Does a great
to the
job.
next level.
Yeah. Fahey rocks, fires. Orton pops it up into center. Ty West just jogging over to it, squeezes it. And Crimson 2 outs away from a dub. And, a little shaky there for Fahey when he first came in. And Flyers got 2 off of him. And now settling in. Kind of nice when, your pitcher, you give up 2. You see your offense grab 1 back and keep this a 6-run lead. Here's Watson. Blake 1 for 3 tonight. And first pitch strike.
I think if you're Dixie, if you don't come back and win this, and this is kind of what it's leaning towards, I think you pull the positive out of it. It's like, you know what? They had one of their best pitchers. We put 3 up on him.
Ooh, good piece of hitting by Watson, but he didn't get enough of it. Coming in, diving, and making the catch was Trey Evans.
You pull the positive out of it. We scored 3 runs. We got like 8 hits off of a guy that's going to Utah Tech that hasn't given up many hits all year long. Nice drive there.
Trey has a beat, and then he's like, okay, I got to stretch out here.
Oh, jeez.
I think wind was blowing. Look at the flag now. That wind was knocking that ball down.
Absolutely it was.
And that's really a nice little Morgan defensive pest control play the game nominee. And that's a strike to Ridge Erickson, and Ridge and the Flyers down to their final last 2 strikes. Top 7th here. Mustangs are the home team. And that one down and away, 1-1.
You never want to be the last out of the game. So Ridge is really focused here, wants to get on the base paths.
Swing and a miss down to their last strike. Coming up, we'll have the Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show, hand out some awards, get the final tally on the Adams Wealth Advisors statistics tonight. And barring a ferocious 2-out rally, we're going to have the same 2 teams tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And got him. It's over. An S&S mechanical strikeout to end it. And the Mustangs are staying alive. Cue your BJs, Mark.
There
Sing
you
it,
go.
baby.
There's
Sing
the
it.
Bee Gees.
Defending state champs, you knew it would not be easy, but the Flyers had one in their pocket. They'll regroup.
Yep.
Rest assured, Coach Gibson will have them ready to go tomorrow night. And we'll have it for you right here on KSLSports.com, on the live stream, as well as the Fan Sports Network on the radio. And we'll take a break. We'll come back, and we'll clean it all up, just like Dr. Cody with your kids' dental needs. Post-game show wrap-up after this 60-second timeout.